Hey there, this is the Chill Out Podcast, episode 341, Learn English Through Stories, the trip we didn't plan. You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is the Chill Out Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. It's not about perfect grammar or about fancy vocabulary. This is about your voice, your words, your real English. Welcome back. Today, just like we've done twice before, we're going to learn English through a story. You listen to a short story packed with useful expressions related to hiking and mountain trips. Learning through stories is really effective, and it's like that because you learn vocabulary in context and in turn remember it more easily. So listen carefully and make sure you stay until the end. We'll finish with a speaking practice, as always. It's a section where you'll repeat sentences out loud. You can also download the worksheet for this episode at Tatra.com/341 because it'll help you review, practice, and remember everything we've learned today. And if you'd like to try my method of learning English through daily voice messages, visit teacherola.com/test for a free trial. I'll let you know what I think you should focus on next. Enrollment for my voice loop speaking groups is also open, so I'll let you know whether voice loop might be a good fit for you as well. Just contact me through teacherola.com/test. It's a free trial. And also, I'm not sure if you know, but last week on Sunday, the 7th of June, there was a ball and you can watch a replay. If you haven't been there or if you would like to revise this material, have a look, have a watch. It's 1 hour recording of the ball. Yeah, it was a real ball. We were dancing. So go to teacherola.com/bal. B-A-L, bal. teacherola.com/bal. And now let's learn English through stories. The trip we didn't plan. The trip we didn't plan. Last summer, my son and I went to the Tatra Mountains for a day hike. The weather was perfect, the sky was clear, the air was fresh, and the trails were busy but not crowded. We were both in a great mood. About 2 hours into the hike, something happened that completely changed the atmosphere. I looked up at a distant slope and noticed a dark shape moving between the bushes. At first, I thought it was a large dog, but then it stopped, turned slightly, and I realized it was a bear. It was very far away. There was no real danger. Other hikers had noticed it too, and nobody seemed worried, but my body didn't care about logic. My heart was pounding, my hands were cold. I couldn't stop looking at it. I knew the bear couldn't reach us, I knew we were safe, but all I could think was, what if it starts coming this way? My son, on the other hand, thought it was amazing. He kept asking questions while I kept checking where the bear was. Luckily, a few minutes later, it disappeared into the trees and slowly my heart rate returned to normal. Not long after that, we met a woman hiking with her son. The boys were about the same age and they started talking almost immediately. Within like 10 minutes, they were walking together as if they had known each other for years. Something funny happened then. Earlier that day, my son had complained about his legs at least like 20 times. My feet hurt. I'm tired. How much further? But once he had another boy to talk to, all the complaints magically disappeared. Suddenly, he was walking faster than me. He was climbing uphill without stopping. At one point, I actually had to tell him to slow down. The other boy was cheerful, curious, and full of energy, and his mother was the kind of person who could start a conversation with anyone. She had a great sense of humor, and the time passed quickly while we walked together. A little later, they told us about a waterfall that wasn't marked on most tourist maps. It required a short detour, but they said it was worth it. And they were right. After a 20-minute walk through a quiet forest, we reached one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in the mountains. The boys threw some small stones into the water and we sat on a rock and enjoyed the view. That should have been the highlight of the trip, but it wasn't. The real adventure started later that evening. After saying goodbye to our new hiking friends, we made our way back to Zakopane and headed for the bus station. But when we arrived, I looked at the departure board and froze. The last bus to Krakow had left 5 minutes earlier. I checked again, then again. Surely there had to be another one. But there wasn't. No trains either. My husband was somewhere on a cycling trip in a completely different part of Poland. There was no chance he could come and get us. For a few minutes, I felt completely stuck, and then my son looked at me and said, "So, does this mean we're staying here for the night?" He sounded excited, and I started laughing. Instead of treating it like a problem, we decided to treat it like an unexpected adventure. We found a small guest house, ordered some dinner, and spent the evening talking about the bear, the waterfall, and the people we had met. The next morning, since we were already there, we decided to make the most of it and visit another valley. The trails were much quieter than the day before, and we walked without rushing anywhere. We stopped for snacks and took photos, and that's when the final plot twist happened. Near the end of the valley, we spotted the same woman and her son again. Out of all the places in the Tatras, we had somehow ended up on the same trail. The boys were thrilled. And whenever people ask me about that trip, I don't talk about the mountain views first. I talk about the bear that scared me half to death from a safe distance, luckily, the hidden waterfall, and the bus we missed, and the strangers, of course. That's it. This is the end of the story. Now it's time to practice listen and repeat out loud. My feet hurt. My feet hurt. I realized it was a bear. I realized it was a bear. The time passed quickly. The time passed quickly. The trails were busy but not crowded. The trails were busy but not crowded. He was climbing uphill without stopping. He was climbing uphill without stopping. When we arrived, I looked at the departure board. When we arrived, I looked at the departure board. We decided to treat it like an unexpected adventure. We decided to treat it like an unexpected adventure. My son and I went to the Tatra Mountains for a day hike. My son and I went to the Tatra Mountains for a day hike. We decided to make the most of it and visit another valley. We decided to make the most of it and visit another valley. They were walking together as if they had known each other for years. They were walking together as if they had known each other for years. Well done, and thank you for spending this time with me. Before you go, don't forget to head over to teacherola.com/341 and download the free worksheet that goes with this episode. And if we zoom out for a moment, there's one important thing I want you to remember. Theory matters, understanding grammar matters, but speaking is what changes everything. Speaking is what changes everything. You can know the rules, you can understand podcasts like this, or even more complicated ones, the podcasts about something else different from learning English. You can even follow conversations with ease, but confidence and fluency come from one thing only: speaking. Only that. The more hours you spend actually speaking English, the faster you become fluent. It's all about accumulated speaking practice. The more conversations you have, the more mistakes you work through, and the more words you say out loud, the more natural your English becomes. That's exactly why I created VoiceLoop. VoiceLoop is my voice message-based program, speaking program. We practice speaking English every day through voice messages, and once a week we also meet live to speak in pairs. The goal is simple: to help you turn passive knowledge into active communication. And right now you can test this method completely free. I'd love you to find out whether this approach is the right fit for you, because maybe it's not. Either way, you'll know much more about how you learn best. So if you'd like to take a free test on the voice message method, go to teacherola.com/test. Thank you so much for listening. Stay fearless, take care, and say it out loud. I love you. I believe in you. I know you are ready to speak English. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you've been listening to the Teacher Ola podcast. Bye for now.